Hello friends and welcome to today's video. So as you probably have noticed, it's getting warmer outside, and I don't know about you, but for me in the summer I tend to go for sweeter, more floofy, as I like to say, drinks, which those can often be very high in sugar and not the best for you, which is totally fine. Like, I will drink those sugary drinks because they're delicious, but I wanted to bring you a really awesome option that doesn't have any added sugars and is still delicious and beachy and perfect for these summer months. So let's get into it. So we're going to be creating what I like to call the beach bum latte. Super easy, but it's going to be flavored with herbal tea instead of syrups. So I just had this Tivana Beach Bellini flavored herbal tea. This piece is a pineapple and mango. It's super yummy on its own, but with coffee it brings it to a whole new level. So we're just gonna add our bag of herbal tea right into our mason jar, and then we're gonna fill it with boiling water up to the 100 milliliter line, which if you don't have a mason jar, that's totally okay. You can always use your kitchen scale or just eyeball it. You just want the tea bag to be saturated, but not like overly saturated, because we want it to be super concentrated in the bottom of your cup. Okay, so now that our water's hot, like I said, we're just gonna fill that to the 100 milliliter line. And then we're just gonna set this aside to brew for a while. You can also do this step ahead of time. If you're like really obsessed with this drink, you can take several tea bags, fill a mason jar completely up with the water, and then stick it in the fridge overnight and make kind of an herbal iced tea. And that works super awesome too, because you can just portion it out right away and you don't have to do all of the steps in the morning when you need your coffee. So while that's brewing, we're gonna pull our double shot of espresso. I'm just using this pre-ground Lavazza cafe espresso. I'm running low on coffee right now, so we're trying to preserve those beans. And yeah, this works great for what we're doing. So we're gonna pull a double shot using the espresso machine. Another awesome option is you can use cold brew or iced coffee, and just fill it. Well, we'll get to that step, but you can use cold brew or iced coffee if you don't have an espresso machine. So, okay, so you can put your shots into really any container. I'm just gonna use my milk steaming pitcher because it's right here and it works. So, just gonna pull those shots. Okay, so you can see that our tea has started to brew. It's getting pretty opaque in color. So we're just gonna discard of the tea bag. Okay, now that our tea bag is discarded, we're gonna fill it up to, oh, where are my lines? To the 200 milliliter line with coconut milk. For this recipe, I really highly recommend coconut milk. I normally go for oat milk, and I know a lot of people normally go for, traditional cow's milk, but the coconut milk brings this to just an extra beachy, summery level. Okay, so now our coconut milk is in there, and this stuff is totally optional, but I think it makes it look a little extra fun. I'm just gonna put a tiny bit of pink food coloring in there. This is obviously completely optional. I just think it makes it look really pretty. A really big glob fell down, so this might be more pink than I was intending, but it's okay. Oh no, actually that's perfect. Okay. So you want it to look like this if you're putting the food coloring in. You can also use beetroot powder. That's a super awesome option for this, but I don't have beetroot powder, so food coloring it is. Okay, so now we're gonna fill this almost all the way up with ice. leaving, you know, about an inch or so. It's actually up to the 300 milliliter line exactly, so that's a good way to judge where you're at. And then lastly, we're gonna put our espresso shots on top. And there you have your beachy, delicious latte. And let's give it a try. And I'm gonna stir it up so the pink actually doesn't even really matter. I just think it looks pretty when you're like making it. I don't know, I just think it like adds a little something. Yeah, that is so good. It is just that perfect, like kind of fruity. I don't typically like fruity things in like my hot coffee. I mean, with the exception of drip coffee. But in my hot lattes, I don't like fruity flavors. But in the cold ones, I think it is just so yummy. And yeah, it is that perfect caffeine fix that I need. I don't know if you've been feeling like you need more caffeine in quarantine. I know I have. I think it's because like I'm just like I want to make coffee and then I make it and it just has slowly become that I need 3 cups of coffee a day instead of 1 now, and it's fine. So yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, as always, if you try the drink, make sure to tag me in it. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.